strategies now in the podcast. And once you hit season 13, people come clamoring. You gotta do things, Live from Food Buy Studios in New York City, it's the Hospitality Hangout podcast with the restaurant guy and the finance guy.
Oh, I love that, Jets. You kept that nice and high and tight.
Yeah,
I would like to welcome all of you listeners more formally to the Hospitality Hangout, a hospitality-focused podcast where the founders of Branded Hospitality share their insights and bring technology and innovation leaders as well as restaurant leaders that are making things happen in the industry we love. My name is Jimmy Frischling, otherwise known as the finance guy. I'm going to pass it back to my boy, Mr. Schatzberg, who's moving chairs, closing doors, the restaurant guy.
And thank you for that kind intro, Jimmy. And to all those listening, feel free to call me Shatsy. And together, we are the founders of Branded Hospitality. We are at the intersection of hospitality, technology, investment, capital, food, beverage, restaurants, and everything Dallas, Texas today, Jimbo. Everything Dallas, Texas
Love
today.
Big D. Love Big Dallas.
Jimbo, I got to tell you, I am feeling good. Just flew in from, we got back late last night from Orlando. It was absolutely fabulous. Okay, and I got to tell you something, Jimmy. You know something I recognized going out to all those restaurants in Orlando? Is the most important thing in a restaurant is?
Tell me.
You would think it's hospitality, right?
No, I think it's guests.
Well, you need guests. You need guests. But you know what else is? You need food.
You need food.
You need food. Jimbo, without food, you got nothing. And you know what? You know what Food Buy is?
What's Food Buy?
They're your partner in procurement. Jimbo, you know why?
I like that. Partner in procurement.
You're damn right. And you know what they do? They help restaurant operators, okay? Because, Jimmy, if you have one restaurant, you call up your food guy, right? Yeah. And you say, hey, I need a case of this, a box of that, a pound of this, 100 pounds of that. And he gives you a price, right? What if
he picks you up?
Yeah, but what if, right? You could call your food guy, right? Where you buy your food from. Yeah. And instead of getting prices like your one restaurant, right?
Yep.
When you call him up, he thinks you've got like 10,000 restaurants. You know what kind of pricing you get?
I want to guess better.
Better is right. Well, Food Buy's got $32 billion worth of buying power, okay?
$32 billion.
From 500 major suppliers. And let me tell you something, Jimmy. If you go to foodbuy.com, I promise you, they're going to save you at least 25% off of whatever you're buying, Jimmy. That is real.
You know what our attorneys think of us when we say things like guarantee, Guarantee? It tends to be like, death and taxes, not necessarily food prices. But okay, your Schatzberg is guaranteeing a 25% savings.
Foodbuy.com.
Anyone who doesn't get the savings, I'll give you Schatz's credit card. He'll make up the difference.
We're going to speak to our guest and see if he knows a little something about food procurement, because I bet he does.
All right.
Let's jump in.
Let's make this happen. I am very excited for today's episode. We have our friend, the talented Mr. Jack Gibbons, CEO of FB Society. And I'm telling you, there's a lot going on in our industry, and FB Society is making quite a bit happen. We're going to have a good time with Jack.
Oh, we are super excited over here, Jimmy. But you know what? Before we get started, Jimbo, I think we got to go to a little Trivia Tuesday, shall we?
Yeah, this is the moment where Jack thinks he's about to enter the conversation. And I'm like, but wait, there's more. We release our podcast on Tuesdays. Here comes the topics for Trivia Tuesday. Your longtime listeners know how we play the game. I'm going to share 3 factoids about our friend, Mr. Gibbons. 2 are true, 1 is not true, also knows a lie. And at the end of the episode, Shatsy will guess which were the 2 truths and which was the not true. Here we go. Fact 1. Jack met his wife at a restaurant.
That's a pretty fact. I met my wife, you know where?
Nowhere.
Come on, Jimmy. At the restaurant.
At the restaurant. Yeah,
everybody meets their wives at restaurants.
Well, not everyone meets their wife at a restaurant that you're managing and she's working at, but that's a whole different story.
That was, back in those days, that was actually acceptable. Not only acceptable, it was preferred.
Preferred. Now it's frowned upon. Okay. Fact 2. Jack plans to live to 100 years old.
Of course he planned. Well, who does?
You could plan to do 104.
No, that's stiff enough. 100's stiff enough for Jack.
Okay.
Longer than 100.
All right. And fact 3, Jack has his pilot's license.
You know what? I know they're speaking to Jack. I don't recall him talking about any of his things.
He's not a boaster. Doesn't boast. All right. That's the game. Remember to stick around to the end of the episode, and Shatsy will make his 2 guesses, and Jack will do the big reveal.
I like it. All right, but you think that Jack's coming in right now, right? You're like Jack is about to come in, but no, he's not. You know why? You know why, Jimmy?
You gotta share some factoids about Jack.
Right, because everybody listening right now is saying, well, you know what? How do I become the leader of one of the most successful, prolific restaurant groups in all of the land? How can I do that? Well, you know why they listen to the Hangout? Because they want to find out how they want
to become this.
Well, let's dig in to find out, to tell our guests how they can be a leader of one of the most prolific, incredible restaurant companies in the entire world. Well, first, you got to become a waiter. You got to be a server. Server's the proper terminology, right? You can't say waiter anymore. You're not allowed to say waiter, waitress, right?
If
Julie yelled at me when I said the stewardess on the plane. She's like, you can't say that. Why is stewardess bad? Is that a bad word?
It's been flight attendant for like 30 years.
But is stewardess a bad? Is that like saying you're an is stewardess bad?
Keep up with the times, my friend. Keep up.
All right. She got so mad at me. Anyway, you gotta be a server at Papatos restaurant.
Papadu.
Something.
You really need Jack's Papadu.
You got to go to Papadu for 25 years, and you got to go from a waiter to the CEO of Papadu, okay? And you got to spend a long time. You got to go 25 years there, Jim. You don't just become, right? And then you grow the concept from one location at Papadu into like hundreds, okay? Then, and only then you can run your own restaurant group. And in 2008, that's where he became, from the president to CEO of one of the greatest restaurant groups in all the land. I mean, he also, by the way, creating companies and brands like I'll just throw out a couple. Velvet Taco,
mic drop, boom.
Whiskey Cake, boom. 60 Vines, Mexican Sugar, Son of a Butcher, Haywire, The Ranch at Las Colinas, Food Hall. I mean, so many great things. I got to tell you, let's bring him in because the guy's exhausted over there. Ladies and gentlemen, chairman of the board, CEO of the FB Restaurant Group, Mr. Jack Gibbons. Welcome to the show, Jack. I got to tell you, you are a lifelong restaurateur. Tell us everything.
How much did you get right, Jack? Did you get anything right?
Well, eventually I figured out it was Papadu.
Oh, yeah. Well, it was good, actually. It was really well done.
Was it
Papaitos? And the excitement that was created was... It was really well done.
Yeah, you see, Jimmy, we did a great job there. Excellent.
We can only go downhill from here.
Let's kick it off, Jim. We got a lot of questions for Jack.
Actually, we're gonna have some fun. Jack is a good man. He's a good person, and he runs an incredible company. Now let's get Jack involved. Let's talk about just some of his growth numbers. They're staggering. You've added 11 new restaurants across markets, including Austin, Miami, and DC. Your restaurant count now, as I understand, is 41 and 2 food halls. You have over 4,500 members of your team in the FB Society umbrella. So, with the momentum you're carrying into 25, I get the privilege. I clearly done something right because our producer usually gives breaking news to Shatsy, but I'm getting it. Breaking some news. And it's very good for us, Shatsy. New this year, you're expanding to my hometown, New York City. So great we named it twice. New York. You're opening Shaver Hall in Midtown. What is driving the strategic expansion?
Wait, Jimmy, I got breaking news coming in here right now. Are you breaking it right now?
I think we're breaking it.
You're breaking it right now?
Yes.
Oh my goodness. I gotta say, you know what? We are basically the CNBC of the restaurant business, am I not?
I gotta say, FB Society opening in New York City, that's really exciting. But Jack, tell us about Shaver Hall and welcome to the Big Apple. We can't wait for you guys to land here.
When you think about the most iconic places to have food halls, our second food hall we opened at 5th and Broadway,
nice,
in Nashville. It's a 115,000 square feet facility. Does over 60 million in revenue a year. It's got full service restaurants, fast casual bars, live music, and that's our differentiation in the food hall business. It's just not a few little random stalls. We actually put a lot of resources into curating the highest talent around and bringing that talent in. And that's what we're doing in Manhattan. And we can't wait to do it. We're very excited about it. We think the location, as far as, doing something in the original Lord and Taylor building, which is, got the iconic windows.
That's Amazon, right? Amazon's there, right?
Amazon owns the building. They're our partner in this business, and really they were instrumental in helping us to bring this to Manhattan.
And guys, I'm very excited. It's going to be great. Really can't wait. And we look forward to enjoying it. We look forward to sharing it with friends. And can't wait for you to land here in New York City with us.
I gotta tell you, it's gonna be awesome. I mean, I was over at the Lord and Taylor building. I mean, that's a full city block.
Yes.
So that is just going to be a
So
monster.
the ground floor of that building, so it'll be right off the street. We'll have two full service restaurants. One is an omakase. One is a steak frites. And then we've got 13 different vendors, all local vendors who are like the best of the best. It's really exciting. We have a live music stage. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Meanwhile, and I gotta say, I think it's taken longer than it should, but you've got the CEOs of a lot of banks and a lot of companies saying it's time to come back to the office. I guess I've been a dinosaur because I felt this way. I don't see how you can build
You've
culture
never not
and team.
been in the office.
You got to be in the office. I mean,
That's
you
right.
can give some optionality, but you got to come into the office. So I think your timing is ideal, and can't wait to see it happen.
That area is just bustling with activity, and it is long overdue to get something on that ground floor. Amazon's been there for a bit, but again, there's nothing on the retail level. So having you guys take over that spot is just going to be awesome. You guys are going to crush it. Let's change gears a little bit. We love a good story on the Hangout. We love telling stories. Let's take us back to you and Randy. You created the ranch. And I heard there was a moment where Randy asked, "What happens if this fails?" And you said that wasn't an option. But then,
So
when it opened, there was
you think
crickets.
about working for the Pappas family and growing Papados, and we would open one. It's that whole story of you build it and they will come, right? And so I had done that for 25 years. We built these buildings, people would line up. It was exciting. So as Randy and I created our first brand together, the ranch at Las Colinas, it was a 14,000 square foot facility. We brought in the culinary team, we trained everybody, and the night before we opened, Randy, who had in the past, his background was a little bit smaller restaurants. He had never had one that size, and he goes, "Jack, what if we open up and there's crickets?" And literally that thought had never even crossed my mind. I mean, I
It's like you put
that's
the
how
kibosh
inspired.
on you right
So,
there. What's wrong with Randy?
and at that point, I had left a great job, had invested a lot of money into this. So it was like burn the boats. And ironically, the first, when we did open, it was crickets. And we had to take it one guest at a time, really appreciate those guests, really think about their journey. And I think that's ultimately what has woven into our culture of really appreciating regulars and appreciating people who eat with you all the time. Because you know how you go to restaurants and you just become a number. Well, our people, like, people give them their phone numbers. We we cut regulars in front of other people because those are the people that have sustained us in the bad times, and we don't forget those people.
I love
I find it so interesting. I want to bring up, which is your approach.
Is this breaking news?
No, not breaking news, but clearly Jack and Randy, these are a relationship oriented team, and they think about their guests. I kind of feel as we do. So your brand DNA, your framework, differentiators, nuances, and attitudes. Differentiators, nuances, and attitudes.
Did you come up with that?
No, that's theirs. That's FB Society. And I heard a story about your red shoelaces, for example, at Mexican Sugar, and how these small details speaks to the larger brand consistency. So can you break down for us, how do you develop these brand personalities? And as you're growing, these small intentional details, how do they contribute to the overall guest experience? There was a lot there to unpack. I apologize.
Was that one question, Jimmy?
One question.
That was a lot of questions.
With 6 subsets and then
So
4 bullet
I
points
can
under
speak
each.
to that. When you think about it, what the world doesn't need is just another restaurant, right?
That's for sure.
And I think when you approach a concept with intentionality, with the guest in mind before you ever even start construction, the idea is, how do you create nuances? How do you get attitude? How do you get these things that are differentiated that really help you create a customer, and a customer who can connect with you and realize it's something special, and in particular in a multi-concept portfolio, because as I ran Pappas, we had barbecue, we had Mexican, we had Cajun. If there was a big idea in one of those concepts, it would end up dwarfing into all of them. And Randy and I really wanted to create this company with intentionality that we have some restaurants in the same parking lots. But if you walked into 60 Vines and you walked across the parking lot to Whiskey Cake, you would never think they were created by the same person. And
I love that.
that's what
Right.
success looks like to us. And with the idea of the red shoelaces in a concept called Mexican sugar, there is so many little details about making the customer feel rich was one of our DNA points, and how do you do that? And there was, the finishes that we used in certain places, how a server would run across the room to pull out a chair for somebody. We have purse hooks that ladies don't have to hold those expensive purses on the floor. And so we have all these little details woven into it. And there were so many details. I was like, man, I got to create a system to make sure that the management team is always on. And we came up with this idea of the staff always wears red shoelaces. And if I walk in and I see the staff not wearing red shoelaces,
What do you do to him, Jack? What happens to him? Tell us the truth.
we're missing other things too. So it was sort of this idea started off as a joke, but now
But Jack, if someone doesn't have red shoelaces,
that I see them not wearing it.
but if you find someone without red shoelaces, what is the punishment? Tell us. Tell us the punishment.
I don't
What do you
think
do to
there's
them?
a punishment. I think there's like literally a red flag
Shame.
that goes up and says, "Hey, it's time to tune in."
Does
here and make
everyone
sure
do
that
it?
we're
Do you
really
do the
back
Game
on
of
brand
Thrones?
and we're
This-
doing things right?
Shame. You have to walk down. Shame. Is that what is it like the Game of Thrones thing, right? You have to do something to shame them.
That would be funny.
Yeah, I feel like we got to do that. Well, I got to tell you, it sounds to me like we always think it's like it's create an environment that we like to call it's like the Cheers.
Did you make that up?
No, but you
know what? Cheers, where everyone knows your name. How about
Right.
that? Did that catch on?
Jack, we're going to throw something. We're going to throw a bone to you. What do you think about that? Cheers, where everybody knows your name. You could use that.
Yeah, it doesn't feel
In your
very
advertising,
Spanish.
you can use that. Just
Probably a
footnote
better
Jimmy.
way to
May
say
not-
that
may
in
not-
context of the DNA, but I think there's an idea there.
All right, I like it.
By the way, the good news is our guests are like Gen Z. A lot of our listeners, I should say, not guests, our listeners are Gen Z. They actually might think we just made that up. They don't know. They may not know that show from the
We
80s.
probably don't know it. Yeah.
Let's talk a little about some other brands because you've had so much success and you've created so many brands, and so you really are what I'd like to call a super genius when it comes to branding. That's right, I said it, Jimmy. He's a super genius.
Yeah.
Velvet Taco. That was created out of the need to really break the mold when the market has been so saturated with these kind of concepts. And so, you who said that you can't make tiki masala taco? Who said you can't do that, right? So could you share more about how creating the non-traditional flavor profiles put you on the map at a brand like Velvet Taco, where you're just recreating something. You didn't you didn't invent the taco, but man, you certainly changed that business, huh?
it can't. The guests can't wonder. Maybe they're open. Maybe they're not open. You've got to commit to it, and then people know that's the joint to go to. But that's awesome, and I love it. Brandon is heavily focused on tech. And in fact, I'd say close to 90% of our portfolio is B2B SaaS and other tech and innovation. However, we never ever tell people that this is a tech business. This is a people business. It's a food and beverage business, and it can be tech enabled and tech supported. I have a belief that the most valuable assets of any company, I live in New York City, so I say take the elevator home at night. For those not in vertically oriented offices or otherwise.
There's a question coming, right, Jimmy?
There's a question coming. But
Jack's got to lead, right?
At the end of the day, we're a people business. And I think that you guys have this, you're a hospitality hustler, you've had great success, but you believe, and the quote I have to you is, hiring for attitude, training for skill. How do you identify those cultural fits?
Did you make that up?
No, that's Jack's.
Another Jack?
Yes.
Whoa.
Hiring for attitude, training for skills.
Jack, have you written any books yet?
He could be in our hospitality hustler. There you go.
Don't worry about that. He's going to be a hustler.
But how do you identify the cultural fits during the hiring process? What's your approach? Because clearly you're a culture person, and that culture beats strategy. 6 days a week and twice on Sundays. So how do you get that done?
With each different brand, the idea would be if you don't want to hire like a person that we would hire for 60 Vines would really have to be into wine and be interested in wine. Across the parking lot, we have a whiskey cake, and that person would have to be, a little different. That's a farm to fork concept.
Probably more of an alcoholic, right?
Like, no matter what. So, but the big thing is hire people smarter than you. And if you can check your
you gotta find that hard, Jack. Who's smarter than you?
You're better at things than you are. You're always going to find success, and that's a big part of our message every day.
I love that.
Jack, can you hear me?
He can hear you. He's selectively ignoring you.
Are you ignoring
By
me?
the way, I think Jack and Jillian have spoken. You speak to Jillian all the time, and sometimes like, oh, sorry, I didn't hear you.
I feel like Jack's ignoring me.
Sorry, anyway, Jack, let's continue.
Hear
You just don't want to answer my
Jack,
question.
you and I will continue. Shatsy's going to go off and play.
Yeah. All right. Well, listen. We got to take a. I just think he's ignoring me. We got to take a quick break, and we're going to be right back. Because I got to tell you, we got Jack. We're going to do some Brandon Quickfire, some hot or not. We got some good stuff coming on. So stick around. If you take my first half, Jack, it's going to be great. So stick around. Hang on, everybody. Yeah. Welcome back, everybody. I got to tell you, we are back into the hottest of all segments on all podcasts. This is not me. This is Nielsen rating. Jimmy, Hot or Not is now the #1 segment on all podcasts. It's even beating Joe Rogan. 5 people say they prefer Hot or Not to Joe Rogan's podcast. Here we go. Jack Gibbons.
5 people we survey.
We survey Julian.
Jack,
Yeah, we serve my Labradoodle. All right. Hot or Not. Jack, are you ready to play? I told you can't hear. He doesn't want to listen.
I just put out.
All right, Jack, can you hear me? Are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right. Hot or Not, ghost kitchens. In 2025, ghost kitchens. Hot or not? Down. Not. No. QR code menus. Hot or not?
Down.
He's got another down, Jimmy. Down. He's got another down. Late night dining.
Up.
He's got an up on that one. He's got 2 thumbs up. That's very hot, Jimmy. Craft cocktail programs. Hot or not, Mr. Jack Gibbons?
Overdone a little bit, but when they're executed properly, they're up.
All right, Jimbo. So super hot was Ghost Kitchen was not. QR not, and he made a funny face. Late night dining he gave. He put his leg up. Craft cocktails, he said it can be. It's not hot, it's overdone, but it's done right, it's still good.
I think what I'd like to expand upon, or maybe have Jack comment on further, is I agree with Jack's ghost kitchens, no. But clearly, off premise is a big yes. So I guess I would ask the question, because to me, I think the idea that somehow these off-premise only solutions were going to leverage tech, and the food didn't matter. You and I talked about that. We always thought it was a restaurant where your guests just didn't sit in your store.
I love when people used to tell me that the food doesn't matter as long as they get it fast.
Yeah, Schatz, you're such a positive person. That was the one time I thought you were going to go across the table and literally give the person a little smack and say, "How could you guess?" Insult to a restaurateur to say
the food
speed mattered, food doesn't. But maybe less about Ghost Kitchen, but maybe talk about the way you're balancing out, the digital, because Ghost Kitchen, you're right, I think not, but maybe commenting, from your experiences in your stores, your units, how about the off-premise as an extension of your business?
There's no question that off-premise is growing and there's an opportunity there, and it really does fit, the way the lifestyle that people are taking. They're looking for that convenience. There's no question about it. There's a place for us. We have a brand called Son of a Butcher that's a fast casual that really leans into that heavily. A lot of our other restaurants are very experiential, so the other way that we look at digital is what's the packaging of that food to really represent the experience when they get it back to the home or wherever they are. We really spend a lot of time thinking about how to make that digital experience also experiential in the ways that we can influence it and try to think through that deeply.
I've noticed, Jack, is that when Jimmy asks you a question, you seem to answer it. When I ask you, it seems like you ignore me.
Jack, I don't want to have dead space, so since it was silent, I'll just continue because I dead air. Dead space.
Jumping all over.
Shoot.
Very sensitive today, Jack. Very sensitive.
I didn't realize you were so sensitive.
But you know what? I'm ignored in my house. My kids don't talk to me. When I walk in the door, the only two things that come up to me are my dogs. So I get ignored a lot, and I feel like the podcast is the one place in my life that I don't usually get ignored. But anyway, listen, we're gonna jump into the food service feud, all right?
Food service feud.
Jimmy, we're doing it a little different, though.
All right,
Jack, you were kicking off this newest part of the food service feud. We're shaking things up, okay? For the first time ever, Jack Gibbons is playing, okay? Fast money round. Here's how it works, okay?
Feud, fast money.
Fast money. Fast money.
Kramer's gonna kill you.
Yeah, okay, well, listen, I'm doing it anyway, all right? I'm going to ask Jack 5 rapid-fire questions, okay? You got 20 seconds to answer all 5, Mr. Jack Gibbons. Then we're going to call, a mystery restaurateur friend, okay? Ask the same questions and to see how the popularity and who wins this thing, and then next week we're going to announce who the winner is, okay? We're going to try this.
Kind of like the end of the family feud where one family goes into a lockbox.
Yes.
Same questions asked. I like this.
Miss Amy Home right now from Bar Taco is, from Barcelona Wine Bar. Barcelona Wine Bar right now is in. Amy is in a room right now, locked in a room with headphones on, listening to something else.
She can't hear.
Jack can't hear me either.
Amy, not Andy.
Amy Horn. Yes.
Amy Home. Amy Home.
Amy Home.
Yeah.
We're crushing Amy today.
We're crushing Amy.
All right. Andy Horn.
Amy. Anyway, here we go. This is supposed to be fast money, and it's really turning to slow money. All right, slow money. Here we go. Name a food that people always mispronounce at restaurants.
Foie gras.
Besides how is everything, name something servers always say.
Can I get you a drink?
Name something people steal from restaurants.
Silverware or cutlery. Yeah.
Name the first thing customers look at on a menu.
The upper right-hand side.
Name something that immediately tells you a restaurant is fancy.
White tablecloths.
I gotta tell you, by the way, this was the first time we've done the segment. It's the first time I've heard you do the segment.
And he crushed
Kudos to you, Shatsy, to Julie, and to Jack. I thought that was outstanding.
The crowd. I mean, you're not here in the studio, Jack. We got about 2,000 people in the studio, and they're absolutely loving it. All right, well, now we're going to spice it up because now we are going to call Miss Amy Hum, COO of Barcelona Wine Bar. We are live right now. Miss Amy Hum, Chairman, CEO, President, Vice President of Barcelona Wine Bar. Amy, is that you?
This is me. Is that you, Shatsy?
Yeah, can you hear us okay?
I can hear you very well.
Oh, great. We got Mr. Jack Gibbons on, one of the greatest
Big
restaurant
man,
operators
Jack
in the
Gibbons.
entire world.
Hey, Amy, how you doing?
Hi, Jack. Congratulations on being the best restaurant operator in the entire world per Schatzy and Jimmy.
Well, yeah, when we disconnect with him, Amy, and I have you alone, you'll be the best restaurant operator in the whole world. All right, listen, Amy, we just played Fast Money with Jack, and he gave us his top answers to win all the prizes. You and Jack together as a family could win fabulous prizes, and we'll be donating hundreds of thousands of dollars to your favorite charity. Are you ready to play Fast Money? I know you've been in the quiet room with the headphones on. Are you ready?
Are we ready, Jack?
Let's do it. Let's see if we think alike, Amy.
Name a food that people always mispronounce at restaurants.
Strozzapetti.
Wait, what?
I don't know. I don't even know how to pronounce
I
it.
didn't even understand that one. All right, well, everyone obviously. Besides, how is everything? Name something servers always say.
My name is Jack. Can I
Okay.
get you another round?
Name something people steal from restaurants.
The ketchup or the salt and pepper shakers?
Name the first thing customers look at on a menu.
Where the alcohol menu is?
Name something that immediately tells you a restaurant is fancy.
Beautiful people.
All right. Let's see how we do. Okay. All right. When we asked name a food that people always mispronounce at restaurants, the number one answer was bruschetta. Jack said faux gras. Amy said, I didn't know what she said, but bruschetta was number one.
The pasta.
You can't even say that one. Besides, how is everything? Name something servers always say. Jack said, can I get a drink? Amy said, something about my name.
My name. They said
And the answer is great choice. Great choice.
No, I said, can I get you another round? We win that one. Well,
no, the number one answer was great. Just, you're supposed to be matching what the survey said.
Yes, got it.
Not what Jack said. Yeah, Jack and you did not.
Jack and I are the subject matter experts, so that survey doesn't.
That's right. I say Amy and Jack are
I
right.
like how you,
Oh, okay.
I like the way you think, Amy.
Name something people steal from restaurants. Amy said salt and pepper shakers. Jack said silverware. The number one answer was condiments.
Condiments. Actually, Amy said
I feel like-
Amy said condiments.
That's
She said-
condiments.
She said
Amy
condiments.
wins that. All right, Amy wins that one, so you got like 20 points. Okay.
Win.
Name the first thing customers look at on a menu. Jack said they look at the top right corner. He was getting really like psychological on that one, you know what I mean? He's like really, like, and Amy said drinks. It is prices. Prices is the number one answer. Name something that immediately tells you a restaurant is fancy.
I think Jack got this one.
Jack said white tablecloths. The answer is white tablecloths. Amy said
Beautiful people.
Beautiful people. Well, anyway, I got to tell you, it was great fun. It looks like Jack and Amy got a couple right. It looks like you won a lot of money. It looks like, I got to tell you, it sounds to me like there's definitely big prizes there, a lot of prizes. And everyone had a great time.
But I want to memorialize this.
What do you want?
This was the first time we've ever done this segment. So a big thank you to our friend Jack and our friend Amy. This is a first, and you never forget your first time.
I feel like we need some work on it, but I feel like it was pretty good. Let's go right back. Let's go back into the match game. All right, here we go. Jimmy, let's start us off with back to true.
Yes, at the top of the show, I shared 3 factoids about our friend Jack. 2 were true, 1's a lie. Shazzy didn't guess. Fact 1, Jack met his wife at a restaurant. Fact, Fact 2, Jack plans to live to 100. Exactly 100. Fact 3, Jack has his pilot license. Shazzy, what says you?
I've seen Jack in person. The guy's in his He's gorgeous and he's in good shape.
He's in good shape.
I can see that. I don't. He plans to live to 100. Do you plan to live to 100? I mean, he looks like he could live to 100. I say, yeah. He met his wife in a restaurant, and he told her, I plan to live at 100. And she's like, I love you, and I don't think you can fly a plane. I don't think
I think he can fly a plane. I'm throwing that in there. But
anyone can fly a plane.
No, not anyone can fly a plane. You can't fly a plane. I can't
Fly it for half a second. Try and get it up.
With pilot's license is the words matter. Pilot's license.
Has a pilot's license?
Has a pilot's license. I'm saying he has a license. Jack, I could be wrong, but Jack, what says you?
I do not have a pilot.
I am wrong. You do, Jimmy. Wrong. Yeah, Jack don't know.
By the way, now they don't have me in the segment. That's why
He pays a pilot, baby. He's got his own jet.
What restaurant did you meet your wife at, if you can share? And tell us a little about this exactness of you're going to live to be 100.
So I met my wife at Papado. We've been married for 31 years, have 3 kids, and still going strong.
Does anyone listen to you in the house, Jack?
Say that again?
Does anyone listen to you in the house?
No, hell no.
See? Okay.
That was better. That was perfect. Anyone listen to you? Jack, what? Sorry,
Yeah,
what did you say?
Shotzi, I don't even have my dogs listen to me.
Nobody.
They just don't even. Yeah, I get no respect there.
Yeah,
And how about the 100? Where we come up with that? Just your wife said, if you can live to 100, I'll stick with.
So yeah, when we all met in Las Vegas, like I don't have a problem having tequila and cigars, but about 2 years ago, I love what I do. I love my family. I want to keep doing it as long as I can, and I started a health journey and changed my just habits, and really believe that there's people our age. If you really want to be around, you got to really work at it, and I do that.
What are you doing? Tell me your secret. What's your secret?
So, listen to a lot of podcasts, but, I get to
Not this one.
out, but even more importantly, I eat better and I don't snack. And I make decisions that are based on me having a longer life and enjoying the time I have, and opening more restaurants, and spending more time with my family and seeing the world. So those are the 3 most important things to me in my life.
So when you eat healthy, what's healthy to you? Tell me.
Protein and vegetables. Like if you really can cut out all the shit, sugar, and all the bread and carbs, and really focus on really high quality proteins and high quality vegetables, you could eat out in restaurants every day. I've lost a lot of weight, but continue to eat in restaurants, just made better decisions.
Here you go.
I gotta tell you, man. I gotta hang with Jack.
By the way,
I gotta start hanging with Jack more. Jack, could you be my life coach? Can you be my life coach? I'm looking for a life coach. I'm in the market right now. Listen, don't answer yet. Okay, don't answer yet. Will you be my life coach? Don't say yes yet. Think about it, and tomorrow. He answered already.
He's that enthusiastic.
But Jack, if you're my life coach, you got to listen to me a little bit. You can't ignore me, because that's making me feel sad about myself.
So, Schatzberg, what I'm shocked about is now that the previous segment we did is the #1 segment, the
Brandon Quickfire is relegated to the
I guess Quickfire is number 2. But why don't you take us in?
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement.
Everything I do so instinctive and so passionate. Every word I move so descriptive like an adjective. I got a vendetta against people who patented being negative when you should be getting after it. I got facts over tracks, this and that. Speaking slow, speaking fast, I can roast, I can gas. Think I'm okay at last, but I don't know if that can erase all the past. And the pettiness, a reflection of the emptiness. Hilarious, you think you're worth my time, you're delirious. Mysterious, because you hide behind a fake exterior. Inferior, you know I'll always be a bit superior. Get off of me, this ain't no humble brag. I want you to hear words, you can say them back. I want you to feel free from the chains at last, and to believe in what you got, it was built to last, yeah.
Now that I've been put through hell, I never got anyone's help. I had to do it all myself.
I don't ever slow up, no
being incompetent. Mental health is confidence, dreams and some honestness. I'm not here to save the day, that's for you to take away. I could play a million mind games, but instead I say something not illogical, something that is topical. Rub it on and watch it go, make yourself unstoppable. Dreams are irresponsible, but they're always possible. If you just believe, you could be so remarkable. Thoughts in my head, a collage and they spread. I'll be great one day, going off of my meds. No, I'm not giving up, no, I'm not giving in. I will make it to the top, taking off in the wind. I gotta make it, I'm saving every day to taste it. I'm patient, but my mind, it can hardly take it. I'm chasing a dream that I've had for several ages. A vacant, modern kingdom for the taking.
Now that I've been put through hell, I never got anyone's help. I had to do it all myself.
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement.
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up.
What? We'll get together. We'll play. Thank you so much for being on the podcast, for having some fun with us. We always we enjoy when our friends and industry leaders come on the show. We try to very appreciative and take it seriously that we now have up and over 100,000 subscribers each and every episode for us, and that's just really fun. And it comes from getting guests like Jack and leaders of the industry like him on our show. So a big thank you to all of us. From Jimmy Frischling, your finance guy, I'm going to pass it back to my boy Schatzy to close us out. And Jack, very much thank you and appreciate you.
Yeah, no, this was great. I got to tell you, we try to get as many top CEOs on the podcast as we possibly can as soon as we can. So this way, when no one listens to podcasts anymore, we got everybody on there already. You know what I mean?
There we go. That's the strategy you have.
That's the strategy.
Okay, let's rethink our strategy.
Is that not a good strategy?
You're basically saying podcasts are going to go away, Jackson.
No, I'm not saying that at all. Anyway, I just want to say, everyone, check us out at Hospitality Hangout on YouTube. And check out our newsletter, hospitalityheadline.com. Read it out. I got to tell you, cheers, everybody.
Thanks, everyone. Cheers.